Today, I am joined by PurposeFused co-founders Neil and Mark. Just to give a quick two-line potted history. So Mark is a recovered investment banker, rugby international and social impact organization founder, currently based over in sunny Denver, Colorado. And Neil probably describes himself as a people person, having spent over 10 years in recruitment and many more years within a variety of people roles, including HRD and OD, before qualifying as a coach and then setting up PurposeFused with Mark. Welcome, chaps.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thanks for having us.
Good summary. So tell me about PurposeFused.
Yeah, you got the job, Mark. Very good summary. Yeah, we set up PurposeFused quite simply to use purpose to unlock people's potential and optimize their collective impact, essentially. And it's something that I've been super passionate about. I've been very purpose-driven, essentially since getting out of the banking world. And you're right, I have recovered. Unfortunately, I wasn't recovering on top of a pile of money, but there you go. I left a little bit too early for that. So for everything we're doing right now is just to try and build a better world with purpose and working with individuals and organizations to do that. And we basically just do three things. We work with organizations on purpose discovery and kind of what their ideal culture would be to enable them to achieve that. We collaborate with them then on where are we at, where do we want to get to, how does purpose fit into the organizational system, and then we go through to what we call transform, which is very much about helping everybody live with purpose, from leaders all the way down, bringing the best version of themselves to work and kind of operating wherever they can at the intersection between their individual purpose and the organizational purpose that we've worked through with them. So yeah, that's why we're here, and we're passionate about it. We love it, and hopefully it helps organizations collectively be better and do more.
That's great. And I suppose from our point of view, tying it into sort of our world, we've been talking to clients and candidates alike a lot recently about returning to work and whether that is a hybrid way of working or more time in the office, less time in the office. And as well as people making job moves in the pandemic, lots of people also trying to work out what's the best way forward for them. So if we're thinking about that, what's your view on the role purpose can play in making those decisions?
I think purpose is something which people are really kind of delving deep around in terms of their own identification of the personal drivers and what gets them up in the morning and why they actually want to do a certain role and why they want to work for a certain company. And I don't think there's a new normal coming any time. I think it's just going to be a continuation of disruptive ways of working and people trying out new stuff. And some things are working really well and other things are a really good change for people. So I think that once people do a little bit of self-reflection from the perspective of understanding their core drivers, what impact do they want to have, it's that kind of thinking that happens before considering whether it's that job role or that company, and that critical bit of thinking before anyone goes anywhere is what we're experiencing by both candidates and clients in terms of making that selection, I guess. So yeah, that's what we're noticing from people that are having conversations with us about job moves that they might make.
Yeah, and I'd just say that I think from a recruiting perspective, it can happen at that point in the life cycle, but from a talent retention perspective, I think there's more and more people now that are literally saying that it's their employees' responsibility to help them bring more of their purpose to work day to day. McKinsey did a piece on it about a month ago, and 85% of the leaders were saying, "Oh, I get to live with purpose," which is great if they truly are. But 85% of the manager employees were not getting the opportunity to live with purpose. And in fact, 70% of them were expecting them to be able to do that because they spend so much time at work. And so with that consideration that Neil's mentioned, that people are really, truly starting to think about this more, companies have a responsibility to do it. And the right companies will do it in the right way, because it ultimately is all about just supporting your people to be the best version of themselves, and they're supporting each other in that process. That it's as simple as that.
Yeah, and you mentioned hybrid working, Mark. that might mean some time working in a small room with no other humans, looking into a video camera, having a conversation with a couple of people you haven't seen for a couple of years. You've got to have a strong sense of purpose and a strong sense of will and why. What impact do I want to have? Why am I going to spend my time talking to you right now through a video screen? So those are the kind of considerations that I think are showing up right now.
Yeah, completely. And so if people are hearing this and it's sort of new to them, then what should they be thinking through? What tips can you give them?
Okay.
I'd say firstly that I think a lot of people probably are aware of purpose because of where it's been sitting, what I call the purpose paradigm. It's kind of just been sitting in the branding space. It's about companies trying to show they're doing good and having purpose-driven brands, but actually, in order for an organization to be purpose-driven, purpose has to be inside out. That means it has to start with people. Organizations are just systems of people. So a couple of really simple tips on this is, we just simplify purpose through what we call our PurposeFused formula. And so purpose equals passion plus impact plus application. So that works both for organizations and it works for individuals. So let's just take an individual. What am I passionate about? Okay, well, what do I care about? What do I believe in? What am I good at? What do I enjoy spending my time doing? What am I best version of myself? They're the things that are going to help me be passionate. How can I take that and actually make some form of difference in the world? So we talk about impact being me, we, and the world. So how's it going to help me be my best version of myself? How's it going to support the people that I spend the most time with, whether that's colleagues, family, friends? And what a broader impact could it have on the community, on a cause, on the environment, whatever you want it to be. So that PurposeFused formula of passion plus impact plus application, I think really helps people, because once they've got the first two pieces, all right, well, what are the options? How can I apply this to be the best version of myself on a day-to-day basis, and really truly live with purpose? So that's the first thing. And probably the other tip is just really simply what we call 3 A's, which is authenticity, alignment, and advancement. So you can reflect on, as an organization or individual, on your own purpose statement. It's just going to be a nice, easy sentence for you to remember that inspires you to be your best. So is that authentic to you? Is it aligned to where you want to go? And does it advance you forward day to day to get there? And that helps look at purpose both at individual level, but also within the organizational system as to how purpose fits with culture, with strategy, with brand. It has to be aligned with all those things. It has to be authentic to those things, and it has to help them move forward day to day. So they're the two kind of core pieces that we weave into all of our work.
No, that's really good. And if we're then, from us thinking again back to sort of the recruitment and talent slant, what do you think are the main issues around recruitment and talent right now, and how can purpose help when thinking about those?
I think the main issue is one which is as old as the hills, which is competition for the people that you want to have working for your organisation. Whatever that is, whether that's the most appropriate people, and where purpose fits into that, is that it gives you advantage in the market. To have those conversations and inspire the right people to come and work for you. If you have a compelling purpose that is believable and authentic, and that is in alignment, as Mark was saying just there, in terms of the people that you want to talk to, then that's going to give you, the advantage that you need in terms of making the right hiring decisions. So it's not a lip service point. It's really live this, so that it's believable and authentic.
Yeah, I mean, you said before, Neil, like inspire to hire, right? It's literally that simple, and that's the way to get the right people in the right roles doing the right things. And everybody knows that if you get those 3 things right, that's how you create that advantage in the marketplace.
So thinking around that, so what do leaders need to think about then when talking about purpose to their employees, and given we're talking about recruitment, to prospective employees?
Yeah, well, I think partly what we just said, partly the leaders need to be truly authentic about wanting to discover their organizational purpose if they haven't done it, and wanting to articulate it in a compelling way, for the right reasons. And from our perspective, the right reasons are inside out, people reasons. How can this help me, my other leadership team, emerging leaders, the broader people base of the organization show up as the best version of themselves? So if that's your motivation for it, because you truly want to, I always say, fill your people up, not try and squeeze them dry and get everything out of them. If you can truly fill your people up, be a positive energy giver, but support people, hold them accountable as well. Purpose is a tool to help you do that, because it's something that everybody something that is a magnet that pulls everyone together, and it's kind of the glue that keeps everybody sticky, right? And we can keep kind of moving forward because we all believe in that. As long as a leader, you are truly authentic to it and you're living it and modeling it yourself. That's the key starting point for us.
Okay, great. So what can leaders and senior managers then do to lead with purpose?
I think that it's really important for leaders and senior managers to understand that they have a responsibility to create the right environment for their people to show up and live with purpose, so they can experience the right conditions where they feel like they're able to bring their authentic self to work, and it makes it possible for them because they feel that that's actually a contributing factor to performing well and being in an organisation that they believe, and they believe the impact of the organisation too.
I agree with that. I think as well, like, just if you can simplify like all the whole organisational system down to people, that if you've got a group of people that have a shared purpose and are working towards the same objectives, and they believe in those objectives because they have some form of good impact, that is so much better than just having a bunch of people that are just showing up, right? So as a leader, what can you do? You need to do three things. Firstly, you've got to discover your own purpose and authentically lead the organization through a purpose discovery process. Because for you to be at your best as a leader, to the environment point Neil was talking about, you need to be operating at the intersection of your individual purpose and the organizational purpose. So you discover first. Secondly, you share. You've got to share that organizational purpose. It can't be sat on the poster in the toilet. Sharing it, integrating into the language, ensuring that, as we say, it's the heartbeat to the vision, mission, and values. It sits in the middle of that triangle. So discover it, share it, and live it. You've got to model it day to day. How you show up as a leader is the single biggest important thing you can do to influence others. So, I say as a rugby player that, I've got 14 people on the field that have got my back. They're like my mates, they're my family. I'd do anything for them. So how do you create that kind of team at work? It's because we all believe in the same things, and we're going to support each other because we want to be successful together. So that's how leaders can do this, I think.
Yeah, it's a really good analogy, and I think purpose has always been important. I think it's just the last 12 months, rightly or wrongly, has just brought it to the fore even more, and it's hugely pertinent right now. Hence why I was keen to chat to you both today. So I really appreciate you taking the time, Mark in particular, given the time difference. But thanks for catching up, and we'll speak again soon.
Thanks so much, Mark. Good to see you.
Cheers, Mark.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.